Hi, this is Doug with IdahoMMA.com. I'm here with Kyle Grayson, who is undefeated in the cage and will be fighting August 21st at Rage in the Cage, which is a couple days away. Thanks, Kyle, for your time. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Tell me, as sort of like the veteran of the sport, you've already had 2 fights underneath your belt. And it's getting close to fight day. It's a couple days away. What's going through your body right now in your head?
Well, I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous, but the training is done. We've been training for about 3 or 4 months, and so I know that I'm ready. I know that I'm prepared, and honestly, I'm just ready for Tuesday to come so I can start eating good meals again.
Yeah.
Mentally, I'm fine. I don't have any nagging injuries. I don't have anything that's hanging over my head that's negative. So I'm just ready for Tuesday to come and to be able to perform for all the local fans here around the valley.
Well, that's great. Tell me, you went to high school locally here and
Meridian, correct?
Meridian. So how did you get started in mixed martial arts?
Well, I've been playing sports my whole life. So I've been running, jumping, stretching, lifting since I was a young kid. So when I got into martial arts, it was a pretty easy I wouldn't say easy, but it made that transition easier. Basically, about the time that I was 24 or 23, I decided that I didn't want to go to school anymore, and was hanging out at my house one day, and I had done a little bit of jiu-jitsu through the years with Tom Supnet. In fact, my first practice was at his gym, or not his gym, but his garage when I was 15, and so I kind of got hooked in, and kind of always had that seed planted that day, and but I was still in sports and school and doing other things. And so finally one day I quit going to school, and actually Chase Peel and Rob Peel came over to my house, and they're cousins with the roommate we had at the time, and I just started asking them questions about the martial arts that they were studying and about their gym and whatnot. And so the very next day I showed up here, and that's kind of how my mixed martial arts journey started. I think it was I'm 27 now, but I believe it was January of 2011 was the day that I first really started doing everything.
And then a few months after that, you had your first fight.
A few months after that, I did have my first fight.
Now tell the fans out there, your first fight went 3 rounds. What 3 rounds in an MMA fight? That's a long time, for your first fight.
Yeah.
So tell us how you felt during that and the experience that you learned. I'm sure that you were in shape.
Sure.
Because in order to go 3 rounds, you're going to have to be in shape. But for your first fight going 3 rounds, that had to do something to your confidence.
It did. And the biggest aspect, or the most thing that I took away from that fight was I got injured in the first round, and it was actually a really bad injury. And I really had to just kind of hard it through the next 2 rounds and win them both, and all that was going through my mind was how hard I trained for that fight and how I wasn't going to lose and how I didn't want to lose. And once it was over, I knew that this sport was for me. It just kind of solidified things that I am going in the right direction, and that this is something I wanted to do, and it wasn't just about me. It was the fact that I had all these great other teammates and friends and family around me that were a part of that love and that experience as well. And so that's the greatest thing about this sport is that it brings people together.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion.
And then your second fight, it just went barely around, and so that had to make you feel good. You got this fight coming up, Rage in the Cage 5. Tell me what do you think about the promotion, Rage in the Cage 5, and your opponent?
Okay. Well, I drive by the Idaho Center all the time, and I would always visualize in my brain what it would be like to fight there and just the whole venue. And so now that it's a reality, it's literally a dream come true. It's been a dream of mine to be able to fight with Tom Supnet, and not only him, but all my Kaji Kimbo brothers with my back. And to do it at the Idaho Center is just phenomenal. Todd Carlson, Tom Supnet, everybody involved that's really helping put this promotion together. Man, we just want to thank you guys so much, because you guys are doing it in such a respectful, honorable, professional way, and it's not just drawing in the traditional fight fans, but I know you're trying to get the family involved the families involved and get their support in this as well. So I really appreciate you guys.
Well, great. I mean, I know as a fan, I'm looking forward to the Rage in the Cage in a couple days. Do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Well, I would just like to say I want to thank all my family and friends for supporting me, all my coaches, all my teammates, just everybody that's been involved with my life and supporting me. I just want to say thank you guys, and I love you guys so much. With that said, I'd like to bring Chase Peel in here, my boy. He's going to be representing on Tuesday as well, and just be looking out for us, making our way up as we keep pursuing our dream in the mixed martial arts endeavor, and keep following us as we chase this journey. And thank you guys so much. It's gonna be a good time.
Well, thanks guys. Thanks Kyle, and thanks Chase. Appreciate your time.
For sure. Thank you.